The views expressed in this blog are hosted on my own website, are strictly personal, and do not reflect the views of any organization. Hello and welcome once again to Straight Bat, my weekly video blog where, as the title suggests, I comment with a straight bat. I want to start with a simple quiz question. How many of you know or have heard of Bijoy Shankar Bonia? My guess is most of you haven't until you see this photograph. That's right, this is the photograph that has acquired Bijoy Shankar Bonia notoriety. The photograph that has gone viral from a video of a man who is stomping, dancing and jumping over the dead body of a man who has just been shot dead by the Assam police during an eviction drive in Assam's Darang district. That's right, my friends. Bonia is that very photographer who was accompanying the police during this eviction drive, a drive to drive out so-called illegal encroachers. The villagers there were called illegal encroachers. Bonia was arrested, but only after there was outcry, and this video went viral of him doing what I have called here the dance of death. A video that's gone viral. Bonia is in jail, but the troubling issues that I wish to raise cannot be locked up any longer. Watch the video closely again and let me repeat what I have just said in case you haven't heard it or you didn't know of it. Here is a man who's lying motionless and with a bullet wound in his chest, and a photographer whose job is to bring reality to millions of people is jumping over that dead body instead. For the last few days, I've asked myself a troubling question. What drives a man to do what Bonia did? And otherwise, I'm sure, perfectly rational citizen to do what Bonia did. I have only one four-letter word at the end to describe it: H-A-T-E, hate. That's right. A local journalist told me that Bonia was surrounded by a mob of the villagers during the eviction drive, warning him not to film it, and he felt threatened. One of them in fact told me, and I'll quote him here, he did what he did out of anger, fear and a sense of revenge. That's how a local journalist put it to me. Now, anger, maybe we all lose our cool sometimes in difficult situations. Fear, my friends, unlikely, because remember, Bonia was accompanied by the Assam police. He was with them. They had all the guns. So he shouldn't have felt afraid truly in that situation. Revenge, maybe, because when he was surrounded, as we are told, possibly the anger led him to itch for revenge against the other. Now, beyond every rational explanation, there is only one thing I believe that can make someone do what Bonia did, which is this kind of inhuman, barbaric behavior of stomping over a dead man's body. And that, my friends, is hate. Let me also tell you that I have now gathered that the Assam police, after having shot that man, took his body and was beating up the dead man's body with sticks. That's what a local journalist tells me. Now, here is a so-called professional police force. I can again understand that they are angry because they claim the villagers were throwing stones at them, there was firing, some policemen were injured. The anger is understood. But when you beat a dead man's body with sticks, it goes beyond anger. It goes back down to hate. And therefore, you have to ask yourselves that why should a police force resort to Taliban-like militia behavior? What is it that propels them, compels them to do that? And it boils down to hate. Where does the hate stem from? In Assam, local journalists again tell you about the long-standing grievances that the Assamese people have had against the so-called illegal immigrants, in particular those who've come from Bangladesh, majority of them Muslims, the so-called Muslim outsider. So from accusing them of grabbing land, of taking away jobs, of destroying indigenous culture. The lists that Assamese people will give you against the outsider are many. I have even heard normally well-spoken people, rational, telling me how they fear that the state is being overwhelmed by the immigrants from Bangladesh. One of them, when I was there during the elections earlier this year, said, Rajdeep, sitting in Delhi, you will not understand Assam. And maybe he was right. Maybe it's the tyranny of distance, the distance between Delhi and a far-flung district of Assam. Maybe one doesn't understand the complex mosaic of a diverse population like Assam, held together by a shared history and culture. A state with a long and porous border with Bangladesh is naturally more vulnerable to the influx of people from across the border. The fear of the outsider I can understand being justified. The hatred is surely not. And listen to this carefully, and this is my belief. A cross-border migrant deserves shelter, but we cannot justify, yes, illegal entry into the country for economic reasons and then to make them permanent citizens. I concede that. But unfortunately, an economic and security issue in Assam has turned into a sharply political, religious, polarizing issue. An anti-immigrant sentiment that has been boiling for decades is now a stark communal conflict. And that's where, my friends, the roots of hatred are sown. I saw it this year in that election campaign in Assam, where the BJP cleverly pitted the election, or that was the narrative of Assamese versus the Muslim outsider. It was almost as if there were two elections that were being fought in Assam this time. There was the Upper Assam election, where the BJP was looking to consolidate in a way its support among the majority Assamese voters, Hindu Assamese voters. And in Lower Assam, where a majority of Muslim residents live, you had the Congress in alliance with Badruddin Ajmal's AIUDF seeking to gain the Muslim vote. As a result, you had a polarization and a counter-polarization in Assam. The BJP leader and now Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma in an interview told me this is a larger civilizational conflict. Now, politicians use nice sounding words. Truth is, this civilizational conflict is actually religiously sharpened vote bank politics. The Congress, with its tie-up with AIUDF, was garnering the Muslim vote. The BJP was seeking the Hindu vote. Not surprisingly then, I haven't heard a word of sympathy for all those who were dead in this incident that took place in Assam, the villagers who were killed. Why should they? Because they are faceless, and in a way it suits many people to push this propaganda that illegal encroachers deserve to be taught a lesson. The Darang SP, Sushanto Biswas Sarma, who is the younger brother of the Chief Minister, has claimed that the protesters were armed with sharp weapons and stones. There have also been reports that the Popular Front of India, Islamic radical outfit, has infiltrated these areas. That's now a familiar bogey like Simi was few years ago. If all of this is true, if the villagers were weaponized and resorted to firing, please, by all means, prosecute them. No one has the right to take the law into their own hands. But questions will also be raised about the manner of the police action that took place. And surely asking those questions is important in a fair and transparent inquiry. If not, if you can't do that, please stop the propaganda drive which only serves your political ends. My friends, the division today that we've seen in the hearts and minds, possibly as an aftermath of this incident, has seeped right across our society. Our minds have got polarized. The poison has seeped deep. I hear otherwise sane people now pour vicious abuse against Muslims through awful stereotyping. And then any defense of the Muslim community is deemed today as appeasement. And on the other side, the demonization has meant that Muslims are also being pushed towards ghettoization. It's a troubling situation. Above all, There is News TV, my friends. Every night, as I leave the newsroom, I see a plethora of channels around me. And a number of those channels are doing their prime time debates around Hindu-Muslim religious issues. I sometimes really wonder, in a country as vast and diverse as ours, is that what is our prime focus? Personally and professionally, I confess to feeling extremely frustrated and almost helpless at times. The multiple problems and issues affecting the common man, are we going to seek TRP in religion and religious issues? This might partly explain why when I go home, I don't watch news TV, I watch sport. Because sport is one of the few arenas where individual sporting achievement doesn't have to be seen through toxic and divisive religious identity. Maybe that's one reason why we should send Mr. Bonia, our photographer who seems to revel in jumping on a dead body, to the Olympics. Because there at least he may be able to film the great sports persons of our times and thereby recognize what is true sporting talent, rather than show the kind of barbaric behavior and the false bravado he did when stomping over a dead man's body. And net, it might make him a better human being. But then why blame Bonia? Remember, some of our top leaders also at times have called illegal infiltrators termites. This, my friends, is the language that leads to hate. Think about it. That was the Straight Bat. Do of course subscribe to my YouTube channel for many more such videos. For now, stay well, stay safe. Thanks for watching. Namaskar. Jai Hind.